Hi, N.A.R.C troopers. Today I want to talk to you for a moment about something called gaslighting. Um, Gaslighting takes place in the context of a relationship where one partner is manipulative, self-centered, low on empathy, and sort of just vested in their interest in always being right. Most people with narcissistic personality disorder are guilty of gaslighting their partner and or their children or whatever it may be. Narcissistic parents create a culture of gaslighting where they regularly question or deny the perceptions of their children. There's a million examples of this if you think about it. When a child comes to their parent and says something's going on, and the parent says, "No, that's not how to feel about this. That you're wrong. You don't really feel that way. This is what you feel instead." And they never validate those children's feelings, so that it's really easy to walk away from that and feel like, wow, I can't trust myself. That's kind of a thing. So sociopaths and narcissists, and probably any cluster B personality disordered individual, they use gaslighting as a tactic to abuse and undermine their victims by making their victims feel invalidated and like maybe their thoughts are incorrect or wrong or misguided or off target or something that makes them doubt themselves. I know that's kind of the end result that they're going for. Some even physically abusive spouses may gaslight their partners by even denying that they have been physically abused. It's definitely what happens when you have the narcissist who is not a violent person. There are narcissists who aren't violent. They're very covert and passive aggressive and stuff like that. And they're going to say, "No, I'm not abusive. No, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just, like treating you really well. I had my ex tell me recently, I was a good husband. I was good to you." And I think his idea of good was that he cleaned house and that he had a job and contributed to our finances. But there were a lot of things that were not good that made that not good. The addiction to porn, the cyber sex, the flirting, cheating, trying to always be all creepy and predatory. There were betrayals, there were lies, there was cheating and infidelity. There was just a lot of stuff that happened that they will deny is real. It kind of makes it like it's in your head, like you're the person, you're just jealous, you're just possessive. And when they're telling other people how I would not micromanage, but have like micro, not microaggressions, what is the word I'm looking for? Hypervigilance, like always watching him, checking his text messages and looking at his phone, who'd you call, where were you, and that kind of thing. Well, let's think about that for a second. None of that would have been necessary if, none of that would have been appropriate behavior. But what predated that? What happened before there was a need to ask or check or any of those things? What happened before is that there were a series of inappropriate behaviors and betrayals and lies and transgressions and sexually addictive behaviors and stuff like that. So they're going to try to discount whatever your perceptions are about anything and make you think, wow, am I going crazy? Am I seeing this wrong? Could I be off target on this? And the truth is, no, you're not off target. You're calling it as it is. You're the one that is rooted in reality, grounded in reality, and it's the narcissist that, they don't, they have something called magical thinking. They are not realist. They have this imaginary world where they believe they are entitled. They have grandiosity, superpowers. They have these abilities that most people don't have. They're the biggest. They're the best. They're the smartest. They're the whatever, the most creative, the most talented. They're the most. They're the best. They're it, the alpha and the omega. And so, no, they don't believe that they can do any wrong. And because they don't believe that they can do any wrong, they're going to deny everything deniable plausibility or whatever. And so much of it is so crazy. You know that there's no way that that could be real, and you know that there's no way that the thing that they're telling you could be true. You were there. You saw it with your own eyes. You heard it. You experienced it. But they're going to look right at you and say, no, you didn't. What are you talking about? That never happened. I never said that. This is not correct. You are making stuff up, or you're being paranoid, or stuff like that. Yeah, that's how they roll. So it's just a little quick reminder that you have gaslighting creates cognitive dissonance. And I think the last video that I made was about cognitive dissonance, where we did talk about how, they want you to doubt your own sanity and be confused about what is real and what is not real. That's the whole purpose also, of gaslighting. So different people use this for different reasons, but the narcissist, sociopath, and sociopath, it's one of their go-to tools that is very prevalent, and that's like one of the things they do all the time is gaslight their partner, so that you're always off kilter, you're always off balance, you're always questioning yourself and wondering if your reality really is real, and you just becomes this whole smoke and mirrors alternate reality of illusion and delusion and projection and deflection and word salad. That's one of my favorite ones, because people with personality disorders will talk and talk and talk, and when they're finished, you're thinking, what did they say? I always liked my ex's voice. I thought it was soothing. It made me feel good to listen to him just go on and on about random stuff, but he never really said anything. And when I called him out on things, by the end of the conversation, I was more confused than I was when we got started, because of the word salad. It's like they talk and talk and spout off little wise, witty platitudes and sayings and observations and sprinkle it with stardust. And then the result at the end is just this nonsensical, irrational kind of bullshit is what it is. So let's keep remembering that. I talked to someone very close to me today, and she said, this, I told her, I said, 13 months, I'm not okay. I'm still recovering from trauma and PTSD and triggers and anxiety attacks and rumination and breaking no contact and crazy stuff. And it's been 13 months. And she said, you know what? That's just the beginning. You're never going to be totally over this. There's not going to be a finish line that you need to try to get to. You have to learn to manage it, live beside it, process it, name it, stamp it, know what it is, and learn to just deal with it, because those triggers will still trigger you. It's just been 13 months. That's going to happen in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You're going to have flashbacks. It's going to be like, you're like have been through a war. You're like a veteran of war. And the trauma and the triggers and the anxiety, all that stuff, it's never going to end, which is a horrible thought. But on the good side, it ends by you being able to manage it and control it, and to know yourself and heal yourself and turn inward and do all the work you need to do in here with your toxic scripting and programming, and with all of your, damage that you had, when you were young, all of that stuff, you heal that, then you're going to be able to cope with the trauma and hopefully still manage to find some peace, make peace with the past, make peace with yourself and with what happened to you. You're going to be able to find joy and happiness again, maybe actually have a healthy relationship with somebody. I can't imagine that. I don't even know what that looks like or what that is, but yeah, that's one of the signs that you're moving on with your life, right? And that everything's going to be okay. So, I just want to stress that the gaslighting, it's not a good thing. It invalidates it preemptively invalidates protests against any unfair treatment. It renders you, just cuts you off at the knees, renders you impotent, helpless, defenseless. And you feel that way a lot, right? When you're with a narcissist or sociopath. feel very helpless and defenseless, like there's nothing you can do to defend yourself. So it's time to get your power back. Think about these terms, learn about them, learn to recognize them if you're still having contact through whatever, for whatever reason. You shouldn't be, but if you are, and I should talk because I'm breaking no contact and doing the text and checking the whatever, it's crazy. It's crazy. I do feel like I have been at war, and this is war, and it's war for my soul and for my identity, for me being a human being that's capable of emotion that these people are never going to be capable of. So I want to talk to you about those things today. Be aware of it, and let's be healthy. Let's be safe. I'm at a friend's house with this gorgeous view. I wish I had this view at my house. Hey, I'm trying to sell my house to get out of the house that was our house so that I can be further along on this journey. Hey, I may never fully get over it, but I am going to learn to manage it, and I'm going to go on and be okay. I hope. I think so. Fingers crossed, right? Fingers crossed. Yeah. Okay, so have a great day. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.